Hi, everybody. Dr. Jake here. So, the topic today I'm going to talk about is antibiotics. And a lot of times that's part of your playbook. If you or your child gets sick, you go to the doctor, they give you antibiotics, usually a Z pack. You take it from start to finish, and you may or may not feel better. But there's several things that you should think about within that playbook. And so, first off, taking antibiotic, it only works on bacterial itself. So if you have a virus infection or a fungal infection, it's basically a placebo. It's not going to have any positive effects whatsoever. You might feel better, but that's basically the body taking care of it. The antibiotic had nothing to do with it. If it is bacterial, then it will or it can have a positive effect, but there's so many secondary side effects that you should know about when you're taking that and going down that route. First off, the the gut itself has very specific bacteria, over 300 to 500 different species, over 2 million different genes that correspond and create this homeostasis, this perfect environment to be able to operate efficiently. And so most antibiotics that you take, they are broad spectrum, which means that they don't have a particular bacterial that they're going for. They're just going to clear it out, and hopefully they get the right ones to be able to decrease the infection. So that means that the gut biome is being destroyed through antibiotics because they're killing off the good bacteria as well, and that's depreciating that homeostasis environment. Now, what's the big deal there? Well, when you disrupt the gut biome, it can cause several different issues. Things that are kind of more severe, like leaky gut issues, small intestines overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth, fungal overgrowth. These can contribute down the road to autoimmune disorders, cognitive decline disorders, development disorders. And so it becomes a pretty severe issue. And so if your playbook is to take an antibiotic and have your kids take an antibiotic, that could have serious future health side effects. So, secondly, if you're taking an antibiotic every first go, and let's say you've taken one or two more in your lifetime, then there's a thing what's called antibiotic resistant bacteria. And what that means is if the antibiotic did not kill the bacteria, let's say it just punched it in the mouth, and it ends up spawning more bacteria, then those other bacteria are going to have resistance to that antibiotic. And that becomes a huge thing because antibiotics aren't researched, and though discoveries are really looking into if we could find more, and if they do, what they're finding is this very specific bug. So they're very limited their use. And so because there's no real money in discovering more antibiotics, we are left with what we have. And if that becomes more effective, then that can have a serious result, because antibiotics have been a major role in life-saving procedures. And if they're not as effective, then that could have some pretty serious serious issues that might pop up. Hopefully that doesn't regard any of us. We want to be able to use those and use it effectively. So when you're just taking an antibiotic just because you're under the weather, whether it may works or not, then that becomes a serious problem. And so there are different solutions, and that's really what I wanted to get across is there is more natural solutions that have less side effects. So first off, I would say that getting adjusted would be one. That's going to increase your immune system, increase the nervous system. It's going to allow the immune markers to elevate, especially in time of need, to be able to give you the better defense and fight off whatever you're fighting. Secondly, there's an essential oil called oil of oregano. Oil of oregano has amazing properties. It's not only antibacterial, but it's also antiviral and antifungal, which means that you can take that if you are feeling under the weather. And it does has limited side effects. It's been well researched, especially in the last 5 years, because of bacterial resistant organisms are so prevalent. That oil of oregano breaks these boundaries. It has certain constituents that are balanced just right, that help permeate the cell wall of bacterial and destroy it from the inside. And so this allows to not only take care of the bacterial issue, but if you do have an overgrowth issue, if you've had a gut biome issue and it's overrun by bad bacteria, oil oregano could be a nice solution to be able to eliminate that. And then you follow it up with probiotics, which will help bring good bacteria in and help with the regulation. If you do have additional gut issues or autoimmune issues, I would set up an appointment with Mackenzie to be able to get that under control and set up a game plan.